When I heard them mock me at my daughter's wedding, something inside me shattered forever. I am Safia Begum, 52 years old, a widow living in our modest two-room home in Islamabad's old neighborhood. My hands are rough from years of tailoring clothes for strangers just to feed us. That evening, under the bright lights of the wedding hall, the scent of jasmine garlands mixed with expensive perfumes, but all I caught were the loud whispers from my son-in-law Ahmed's family. Look at the poor mother-in-law. How did she even manage to get her daughter into our circle? Their laughter cut deeper than any needle I had ever used. Before this nightmare began, life was simple but warm. Every morning the aroma of fresh chai filled our tiny kitchen while my 24-year-old daughter Aisha and I sat together on the worn floor mat. I would listen to her dreams of a better future while stitching late into the night. Her father had passed 10 years ago, leaving us nothing but memories and my quiet strength. When Ahmed proposed, his wealthy family seemed like a blessing. I believed my sacrifices had finally paid off. I tried to swallow the humiliation that night. The Mendi function had just ended, henna still drying on Aisha's hands while she laughed with her new sisters-in-law. I stood near the dessert table arranging the leftover gulab jamun trays, so no one would notice how my fingers trembled. Ahmed's mother, Mrs. Malik, passed by with two of her relatives. She didn't even lower her voice. Really, what kind of mother wears the same old maroon sari to both functions? And that gold set must be rented. Poor thing thinks she's marrying her daughter into royalty. The words landed like hot oil on skin. I kept my head down, pretending to adjust a plate, but my ears burned. I told myself it was just rich people talk, that once the wedding was over they would accept us. Aisha looked so happy. I couldn't ruin it for her. The next morning, while I was folding Aisha's wedding lehenga to pack it carefully, my phone rang. It was an unknown number. I answered quietly. Hello, Safia Begum? This is Advocate Farouk from Citibank Legal Department. My heart skipped. I had taken a small loan 3 years ago to pay for Aisha's college fees. Nothing huge, but I had been paying installments religiously from my tailoring work. Yes, this is she. Ma'am, we received a strange instruction yesterday. Someone claiming to be your son-in-law, Ahmed Malik, called our branch manager and requested full early settlement of your loan using funds from his personal account. He said it was a surprise gift for his mother-in-law. I froze. The receiver almost slipped from my hand. Ahmed had never mentioned money. His family always acted like we were beneath them. Why would he suddenly pay off my debt? I thanked the lawyer politely, ended the call, and sat on the edge of the bed staring at the wall. The ceiling fan creaked above me, slow and tired like my own breathing. Something didn't feel right. Why hide it from me? Why make it sound like charity when no one had asked? That afternoon Aisha came home glowing, showing me pictures from the wedding video editing. I smiled, nodded, but inside a quiet storm was building. I decided not to say anything yet. Not until I understood what game was really being played. That evening I called the bank again, this time asking for the exact transaction details. The officer confirmed it. Ahmed had transferred the full remaining amount Rs. for 80,000 yesterday afternoon right after the wedding nikah. But the instruction note attached to the payment read, for the upliftment of the less fortunate mother-in-law. Kindly inform her it is a gesture from the Malik family, so she may feel included. My chest tightened. It wasn't kindness. It was a receipt for their mockery, a way to buy silence, to turn my struggle into their charity story they could tell at dinner parties. We even paid off the poor woman's loan, they would say, while laughing behind closed doors. I didn't confront Ahmed that night. Instead, I waited until the post-wedding family dinner 2 days later at their sprawling house in F7. The long dining table was covered with biryani, kebabs, and imported chocolates. Aisha sat beside her husband, still wearing that new wife glow. Ahmed's mother raised her glass of sherbet and said loudly, to new beginnings, and to helping those who need a little push. Everyone chuckled. I set my plate down carefully. Mrs. Malik, I said, my voice steady like the hum of my old sewing machine. I want to thank you properly for settling my loan. The table went quiet. Ahmed's smile faltered. His mother blinked. How did you? Ahmed started. The bank called me, I continued. They read out the note. Very thoughtful. But I have something for you too. I took out my phone, opened the voice recording app, and pressed play. The sound filled the room. The exact conversation from the wedding hall, captured accidentally when I had left my phone near the dessert table to answer a call. Their voices, crystal clear. Look at her. Same sorry. Rented jewelry? Poor thing. Mrs. Malik's face drained of color. One aunt dropped her spoon. Aisha looked between us, eyes widening. I kept quiet that night for my daughter's happiness, I said softly. But I will not let anyone buy my dignity with money. This loan was my burden, my sweat. You didn't pay it to help me, you paid it to feel superior. So consider it returned. I stood up slowly. I have already spoken to the bank this morning. They reversed the transaction. Your money is back in your account. And Aisha? I turned to her, tears finally coming but my voice still calm. If you ever feel ashamed of where you came from, you know where the door is. But I will always be here, stitching, praying, loving you the same. Aisha's lip trembled. She pushed her chair back, walked over, and hugged me so tight I felt her heartbeat against mine. Ami, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. Ahmed tried to speak, but his father placed a heavy hand on his shoulder. Enough, the older man said quietly. We have embarrassed ourselves tonight. No shouting, no drama, just the slow, heavy silence of truth settling over a room that suddenly felt too big and too cold. Months later, Aisha still visits every weekend. She brings groceries, helps me fold fabric, and sometimes we just sit quietly drinking chai. Ahmed comes too, quieter now, more respectful. His mother has not apologized in words, but she sends a small box of sweets every Eid without fail. I accept it, not for forgiveness, but because holding bitterness is heavier than any debt. Life taught me this. Real strength isn't in wealth or loud voices. It's in knowing your worth so clearly that no one can rent it, mock it, or buy it away. This is Broken Trust Stories. If you have ever felt small in someone else's shadow, only to find your own light, tell me in the comments. Would you have returned the money, or kept it and stayed silent? I read every word you share. Thank you for listening to my story.